Hello world! WayofTime here, bringing to you another episode of Factorio. Where we last off last episode, we decided to, well, we kind of just started the game, so we kind of had to do some basic resource collection, such as a bit of coal, iron, as well as copper up to the northwest. Yes, that is the correct direction. So all we really managed to set up is an automated way to get some copper as well as some iron. And we only have 3 stone ferni to do that, as well as 3 stone ferni. Yes I. Do I? Yes I. No I. Oh my. Oh my. Okay, so let's actually continue. So what we need to do is actually get a bit of power generation going. This stuff I'll explain in a second, but let's see. We are gonna need a bit of coal right now because frankly I am going to need a nice stockpile when a bunch of things run out. Just need to add a bit of stuff to this so we get a bit more stone. That should be super. And we're gonna just need to insert a bit more into the burner mining drill here. How much copper do you have? Sorry, coal. Can I even see that? No, I can't. I have to manually do that. Maybe... You know what? Screw it, there we go. 11 each. That'll give us enough copper for everything. Okay, so how are we going to actually start with some automation? What we need to do, well, electricity rather. What we're going to need to do is make an offshore pump. So let's get that going. Good. We're going to need a few boilers and a steam engine. So let's explain how this works. So the offshore pump, what it does is it pumps water from, well, offshore and uses it to make electricity. Now, obviously, just doing water isn't going to make any sort of form of electricity unless you're some sort of like Minecraft mod that just does an infinite cycle of using pure water for energy, but I kind of digress, which is usually how these things go, so let's continue onwards. Now, what we're going to need to do is heat up the water so we can convert it to steam. Let's choose a good location. I can expand that way if I need to for the copper, and I can continue. Let's keep the power isolated. So, right over here. And let's get this out of here. So, let's see. We're going to need to heat up this water. Do I have any pipes? Yes, I do. We're going to need to heat up this water and then send the now boiling water to a steam engine to make the steam. Now, there are a few expansion things I'm going to have to do. Let's make a few pipes. So these are some pipe-to-ground pipes. And what they do is you're allowed to do some underground pipes, and it'll travel a large distance. Don't think I'm going to make it travel too far of a distance. Maybe like this, at least so I can walk by or send coal or what have you to power everything. So let's use some boilers, and then we'll put a steam engine. And now there are a few things we're going to need to do. Number 1, power the boilers, and then number 2, collect all the energy. Well, we're not actually going to collect it in the strictest sense. What we need to do is actually use it, and to use it we'll just get a few small electric poles, give us enough to actually do some stuff. Stuff being a very broad term. Then we can focus on getting all the power that we're gonna need, and I think I know of a few ways to do that, but let's actually figure this out first. Gonna need a few transport belts. Might as well keep a decent stockpile. That requires what? Just some of that? Oh, we definitely have enough of that. Whew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This should be enough. Now, there are a few things we are going to need, unfortunately. like this transport belt that's good and everything, but we won't be able to split anything, and I'll explain that later. There's a lot of things that I'm gonna explain later, apparently. So let's make the most of it. We don't actually need to have this automated right now. I mean, just having a simple production of energy would be good enough, since this will keep the coal for a good long amount of time. So obviously its steam engine has an available performance in the corner right over here. Shows not much. And then all we need to do is basically connect some sort of electricity line to it, like there. I mean, that should connect, supposedly. Hi! Do you need to actually connect to something useful? Let's see. That should be connecting to it. Let's put another one down. Well, we can. Okay, what are we going to need to do this? Let's actually make a few things that will use it, however. So let's make 6 of these inserters. The problem with these types of burner inserters is the fact that you're going to have to add coal to them for them to work, and it's a bit too manual for my liking. So one solution, and a quite easy one at that, is to use these electric inserters. So these, all we have to do is click to replace, and let's connect that, and now we actually have a use for the energy, so we're going to be using it. And we are making use of 10 kilowatts, approximately. Not much, and by basically clicking on anything that is electric networky thingy, it'll show some use of it. Yeah, I'm horrible at words. So let's just connect those, and what we're going to need to do is connect this to an actual net, or rather, basically move these such that I can power all of the inserters and make sure it's in the general area of effect. So we got a very, very, very simple network, and as you can see, it's using hardly any coal right now because it's not even doing anything. But it is still using a bit of power. There is a bit of consumption even when this is idling, so we are going to have to make sure that we don't have, well, we want to make sure everything's active all the time. Everything is awesome. Now, the actual energy that this produces, I'm not entirely sure. Now, you can see the available performance, it's not really full. So what we're going to probably need are a few more burners. So take that out, burner, and then put this here. We'll put half stack and full stack. And now the available performance is a lot higher. The temperature basically determines the available performance. Now we need some actual use of this. Let's bring a simple line of power over here. Make sure that the cable is connected, etc., etc. Not connected, connected. Now to use this power in more of an inserter way, there are tools to do that, and what we're going to basically make, instead of having these burner mining drills, we'll do an electric mining drill. We'll have one to start. Take this out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. Deconstruct these and make it a bit prettier. Yeah. And I suppose we'll just go with one of these for now. That'll work. There we go. Is this even connected? Evidently not. Ah, dang trees. Why are you so hard? Ah, dang. Right outside the area of influence. There we go. So now we'll use this electricity, and we'll finally make a bit of copper from this. And one of them really isn't enough. We're going to want a few more things, but you can see it working away. Nice animation. Looks a lot nicer, and instead of having the simple 2x2 area that these burner drills do, these electric ones are able to do a nice 5x5 area. I think it's about the same speed. I could be wrong on that. Let's make one more so that we have a bit more copper production. And let's see. We are gonna want to put it here, right? There we go. And it's getting dark already. There we go. And power, please. There we go. Okay, so now this is chugging along, and the available performance is back to 100%. And it seems, if I were to guesstimate, it'd be 500 kilowatts, which is the maximum that this can do. We're gonna have to see how that is. Now, I think we do have enough iron for everything. And those are already gone, and no wonder we wouldn't, because all of these things are kaputs. So we're going to need to expand this to more fun times. Copyright WayofTime limited. Very limited in the fact I don't actually have a copyright. So that works. That, guess that, and we're going to need to replace these with some of this stuff. 2 of these, please. Just give me a moment, and then I'll take these away, and then we'll actually have a more refined method of our copper use. Oh, and we're also going to need to bring all of that junk down over here, because obviously I am very good at figuring out where things are. Now I want to make sure basically all of the iron is accounted for when I do these mining operations. So we'll, even though that's 11 and 8.7, I suppose that'll do. Now we need to power this. Easy enough. We'll change those so that they're not complete junk. And we'll bring this up, I suppose. Okay, so just need to connect this to the main network. Hopefully we'll get something a bit better later on. And there we go. 5 of those. So we can replace these, and eventually replace these. Okay, so slowly but surely we are managing to replace our network so that we actually have a network instead of our random junk limited. But it's working. Slowly but surely it's working. So now we just need to actually replace these so that we can get all that iron out, maybe help expedite the process, and some more inserters. Yay! Now I suppose I could keep those coal producing ones going, because it doesn't really matter that the coal producers are using coal, except for the stupid inserters, obviously. So maybe we should change the stuff anyways. Make it electric inserters? That'd be fun. How much gold do we have? We have over a stack. And stacks aren't equal to 64 all the time in this game. As you can see, we have 128 over there. And other things. Let's see. Things. Words. Now if we put an electric one over here, we should be able to have a renewable source of stone. Nothing's really renewable in this game. We just have so much that we don't even know what to do with it. I think that's all of our electric poles that we are able to do. So let's hope that... Dang it, not within its realm of influence, is it? Get you. Can I? Dang. Oh well. That just means we need to... apparently we have enough for 369 of these. Yes, please. Though one of them is good enough for now. Okay, so we have all the copper. Well, lots of copper. Wouldn't say it's all the copper. We have good coal, we got good iron. Let's see what we can do next. Now, the obvious thing that we can do next is automate the method that these guys drain, because it's kind of ridiculous having to rely on an energy that we have to continually refill. Another thing that's ridiculous is that, oh look, 510 appears to be the max production. That's good to know. Let's add one more steam engine. That'll satiate our desires right now. And if we look, our biggest consumer is the electric mining drill. That's fine enough for me. Boop. Need to connect that, obviously. Don't know why that was not supposed to work without magic. I would have liked the magic brooch. I like magic. Maybe I should do a magic mod. I don't think magic mods would exactly work for this game, but I digress. Have a lot more, and we're going to need to refill these with renewable source of coal. So there is a research. If you look over here, there is a research mechanic. You have to press T to access it, and there's a variety of things that I can do. So for instance, there's automation, and you can do assembling machines and long-handed inserters. So if you complete this research, you will have access to assembling machines and long-handed inserters. If you complete this research, you'll get fast inserters, underground belts, and splitters. But you can see it requires science packs, 20 of them. If you look over here, a science pack would be 1 iron gear and 1 copper plate. I'm just gonna click on 20 of these. Now, obviously, you can't just chug away at these when they're in your inventory. I'll demonstrate when it's actually in my inventory. Holding shift, chug, 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 not gonna do anything. So the only way to actually access this is by making a lab. We have just enough for one single lab. However, we are going to have to wait for the other stuff. I'm not gonna wait. I'm just gonna cancel all of our previous things. Obviously, would be good if I cancel it at the right opportune time, but you know how things work. Crafting away, craft, mac and cheese. Now there's one thing in particular that I'd like for this, and that is our logistics. So by investing 20 science pack 1s, I'll be able to have underground belts as well as splitters. Underground belts, when they're pretty much the exact same as these things, the pipe to ground, in which they go underground. Kind of obvious when you think of it. Underground belts kind of go underground. I think I'll have... I want to have a dedicated science area. Maybe. If it makes sense, even. Probably doesn't even make sense. You know how these games work. There. There we go. Let's put our science over here. Automation! Okay, so this is dedicated to Major Zeus. I seem to get a few things like that. When you make like a unique item such as the lab or train stations or things like that, one of the donators or contributors' names pop up and name the thing. So I'm just going to put those in there, and we're going to need 1, 2, 3 more of those, but I can at least start the research. And to start, I wouldn't mind logistics. So as you can see, it takes 15 seconds per lab. So if we break it down, this is going to take an entire 5 minutes to use, and it's taking 60 kilowatts. 5 minutes, I mean, it's okay. It's okay if it was only 5 minutes. But, obviously, we can do a lot better than that by investing in another lab as well. So, getting our iron will slowly and eventually make our other lab. I'll come back very soon when that is done. Get away, dead tree. You don't deserve to live. Oh, wait. Okay, second lab goes to high torque. So we'll put half of them in here, half of them in here, and then we can continue working on the logistics. Now, one thing that I'd like to do is, these are kind of annoying to make, so maybe one thing we can work on is automating the science pack production. Let's make just 10 more of them so that we can do that once we get our logistics. So we're going to basically need a bunch of iron and a bunch of copper to have this logistics actually work. So there are a few different routing options that we can do. One of them is to basically use inserters and pull stuff out of the chest to go in a different location and work on stuff. However, another option is to route this so that it doesn't go into a storage chest. That works too. Third option is to route it so that it goes in two separate locations. Now, conveyor belts, they're kind of single-minded in the fact that you kind of can't even do that. Ooh, I kind of have a lot of copper, don't you think? Can't get me now, copper? Things? I don't know. I think I'll make a few more of those, maybe a few more of these, maybe make one of these, just basically work on my workload. You know, I don't have enough work, so I work on the workload. You know how it is sometimes. Rough life, man. Rough life. Chopping down a tree with a pickaxe. Tree, and pickaxe. We're getting performance issues, but then again, that's standard with my line of work. And then I suppose we'll... Ooh, you are running out of energy, aren't you? This is problematic. And is why... Oh, look, it's actually done. So logistics is done. We can make underground belts and splitters. Let's look at underground belts and splitters. So the splitter is basically going to split two different paths. Or split something into two different paths. So here we have coal. We kind of want coal to be at a different location. So we're going to get our splitter and dissect one of the points. How will I want to route it? I want to route it over here. So I'll break this, put this down, so now it will evenly divide between, well, the stuff will go in and it'll evenly divide between the two outputs. So half of it will go that way, half of it will go that way. If this path is full, the remainder will go the other direction and vice versa. So we can put more conveyor belts and it will work. However, we kind of need to have this go under, so we'll just make it go under. Down under, yo. Let's bring all these here. And I suppose we'll have it go like this. And now we'll need to insert the stuff in here. So, simply like that. And now we just need to get our inserters and insert. Insert for profit. Just throw that, and now all that we need here is some way to get... Hey, look, we have an energy method. There we go. So now this will automatically insert up to a certain point, coal. And if we are really ingenious, we'll put a few more, and now all of these will be fulfilled. We'll need a few more steam engines, though, so we can probably make those. And did we start on the new research yet? No, we haven't. Let's go for automation, since it's available. And plug in our science packs into these so that they'll actually run. Shouldn't take too long. It'll take like less than 2 minutes. But now that we got it rolling, we can actually progress further and further on into our tech tiers. So, I mentioned the splitter here. Let's actually split things up. Maybe put 2 more splitters so that we have more options later on. And I think we'll split it here. Rotate it. Take that out. Put that there. And where is my... There it is. Why is you over there? I appear to not have any transport belts left, which is kind of unfortunate considering I kind of need those for transportation methods. So if we bring this over here, you will now... Oh, look, we have automation. There we go. So automation, we have 2 things in it. An assembling machine, as well as a long-handed inserter. Long-handed inserters are long in the sense that if you have a chest here, and put like an inserter... if you put an inserter here, it'll take it from here and put it in the chest. So long-handed. It can't reach there or there, however, so it really... You have to use it well. You have to know what you're doing. Some people, well, frankly don't know what they're doing. I'm one of them. Oh well. Okay, so speaking about not knowing what I'm doing, let's get that done. And I wonder what my pollution is like. So I've mentioned it in the previous episode that pollution is one of the main factors in this game. Everything produces it in minute quantities, some things more than others. As you can see, 10 pollution there, and these make 9 pollution. Not much less, but it makes a difference. Now, if we look at our map, there's nothing really to worry about. It's just an empty map with not much in it. However, enemy bases can and will spawn, not around us, hopefully, but they will, and they will be a pain in the butt. Now, if we press Alt while we're here, you can see red outlines of areas. The denser the red, the more pollution is in the area, and the more visible your area becomes. If you have a big cloud of red in your area, you are kind of screwed in the sense that, well, kind of self-explanatory at that point. So enemies, the locals, I'll call them, will kind of find you and not exactly be chummy pals with you. So let's actually go into something that might be a bit useful. We'll want an assembling machine, and this takes 2 ingredients and combines them into, well, up to 2 ingredients, and combines them into something a bit more useful. So what do I want? I want science packs. I am a science major, not really in real life, just bear with me, and I want to have as much science as I possibly can. However, it's annoying in the sense that I can't science. So what I want to do is science, automatically. So I'll just make a few of those, and make one of these. It's gonna need power, so we'll have to basically just have to bear with me. Place one of those there. Needs power. And shlabam. Now we have power. And now we can insert random stuff in it. And obviously it's not doing anything. It's kind of just standing there, looking good. That square. Anyways, so we have to select what we want. Now, if we look at our recipes, science packs, the first science packs, requires iron gear wheel and copper plate. To make an iron gear wheel, we'll need 2 iron plates. So if we select that, this will start taking from here and automatically making the nice iron gears, putting the gears to it, if you will. So let's just divert some of those. Now we'll also want a few copper, I'd say. And do we have a long arm? Yes, we do. So now we're able to make some iron gears. They'll go in slowly. However, if we were to, say, run some copper here and divert some of the copper, let's divert it so that it goes this way. And all we need to do that is just that. So now we have some copper. It's nice having a long line of the ingredients you need, so that is much more easily able to get all the things that you need. Kind of useful. Now we're gonna need some more automation, aren't we? Let's make 2 assembling machines. It's gonna take quite a bit. Slowly go through it, making circuits, making wires, making a bunch of hosts of other stuff, but slowly making it. A little too slowly, but you know how things are. And we'll also need a few inserters. Hey, look, we're out of ingredients again. What are we out of? Of course we're out of those. I think we have enough of those now. Inserters, and we are going to place this here. And what are we going to need? We're going to need copper, as well as the iron gears. So that's easy enough, I'd say. Let's place that down. I'd say maybe like this, right? Like this. That'd be good. So we need to grab some of the copper. That's easy enough. We're gonna need more, aren't we? Let's just do it differently. Not place one of those here. Place that. Now, eventually we can get better things than that. If we look in our research, since there's a lot of things, we can get plastics, we can get explosives, we can get high explosives, and we can get flammables off a bunch of other stuff. Hosts of other stuff. Steel processing, electronics, there's probably something I was trying to look for specifically, but considering that I can't actually find it, here we go. Electric energy distribution, we're able to get medium electric poles, and that would give us a lot better coverage. 7x7 area compared to the 5x5 here. Anyways, I digress. We're going to need to select this first for our science packs. Now we need the gears and copper. Let's get the copper, and let's get the gears. Since this can go in any cup, I want to change that. I want to have it so it's like that. It'll be able to get the copper easily, and then it'll have more choice when it comes to the iron gears. Now let's expand this system by making another. We're gonna need energy once again. Bam, bam. Dang it, these are looking ugly. That can cover everything, so let's get that out of the way. But we're going to... that actually works. That works very well. And over here, we can make even more gears. Pull the stuff out. When it actually makes the stuff, so now we have science packs. That if we bring them over here, we can place... wow, let's make a bunch of inserters. This is getting ridiculous. Hard to make stuff when you don't have the stuff to make stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Probably not, because I'm speaking in riddles. Let's just put that... we need more power! This is looking ugly, and just need... let's go with iron chest. Iron chest, bit more capacity, blam. And there we go. Our production is good, consumption is nominal. 10 minutes, it's like a spiky graph, doesn't really mean anything for anyone, but oh well, there we go. And now we have Science Pack 1s going at a pretty decent speed. Now if you see, the iron's getting used slowly, so we don't need to worry about that. So these gears, wheels, aren't being used at too quick of a pace to cause any discomfort for us at this moment. However, what this does mean is that we are able to research a lot of science. So we have 16 at our disposal right now. Just throw some of you there, some of you there, check the research, and now turrets would be a very fun thing to go because our pollution is kind of increasing. I'm not sure what's in the outside. However, there is a way to figure out what's on the outside of all of this. Let's make 2 more of these. And now we're going to want to make a radar. Now, radar, what it does is it scans in a very large area when you supply it power, and then basically expands your map so you don't have to actually physically move to different locations. Now, I kind of like the idea of having to move by myself to get everywhere I need to be. This doesn't have much room for expanding, does it? Oh well. There we go. Got some power. Now we have a lot more power at our disposal. And we have turrets. Let's see what we can upgrade right now. Not going to be able to use that. However, electronics aren't too far out of our reach. We're just going to need to get a few more science packs at our disposal. What was I saying? Ah, yes, radar. So if we place the radar down... hey, let me out. There we go. You can see it has electricity and it's scanning different sectors. So bringing up our map, you can eventually see that a sector will be scanned and it'll bring it up on our main map. Got some water there. This is some oil that would be lovely to get. In fact, let's take a look at that oil, then we might have to wrap up soon. Dum-de-dum-de-dum. Okay, we have oil. Lots of oil, actually. And that's a place that the radar just scanned. So we have a bunch of areas that we have oil. So we can see 141% yield, 136% yield. That's like 245% yield, and it's all within pretty decent reach of our main base. But, oh, if I look up here, there is a big body of water that is directly to our north. Up! Oh, that's more oil. That looked red for a second. So apparently we're not going to be able to expand this direction. But there are some fish. How do I get fish? Huh. That is something I don't know. Am I going to have to just wait for it? Am I going to have to get like a garrote or something? Who knows? The game is still new to me. I haven't even explored half of what I need to. This is just so fun. Oh well, let's just head back to base. And then see what else we can do. Unfortunately, we are way out of time, and we covered like a good chunk of stuff, at least introduction to automation, introduction to some oil. Haven't actually gotten any use out of the oil, but we did manage to automate our energy production via coal. We managed to streamline our energy production, got a radar going that is slowly scanning the area, and we got our first real crack at doing some mad science. I like the mad science personally. It's kind of mad and sciencey. You know how it is. Yeah. Don't do science at school, kids. Do chemistry instead. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Factorio Unexplored. Have no idea if I'm gonna call it that, but whatever. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future videos. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.